Early reports say your mission
Remember
on the
to
Siren
turn
was
in
a
any
success.
evidence fragments you
I'm
find.
sure the commander is pleased.
They're pirates in every sense of the word, but they've managed to get more organized under their current leadership. That makes them especially dangerous, but hopefully it makes them a little more predictable too. We'll provide you with information, but any inventory or ship services, it's best you get from the fleet. It'll help you maintain your cover and also give you an idea of how the fleet's operation works.
What training? I've mostly been learning on the job.
I know as much as you do. I wasn't briefed on this particular device. But if the fleet wants to trace the Legacy's transponder signal, they'll need something beyond the decryption tech we have currently. If such a device exists, it's likely being developed by the UC. That information is classified, so even what I do know, I can't divulge. Now, I realize as part of this mission, you'll probably end up finding out anyway, but that's besides the point. For the sake of your cover, it's best you work with whatever information the fleet gives you. 2 reasons. First, Commander Akande's playing this operation extremely close to the vest. That means keeping prisoners under his own roof until this is resolved. Second, this is an undercover mission. For our safety and yours, we need to keep these prisoners out of the spotlight. You're not gonna let this go, are you? Why do you care so much about my past? I suppose that's fair, though I'm not sure you're gonna like what you find out. Would it shock you to learn that I spent some time in prison? I suppose that makes me a hypocrite. Oh, come on. I haven't exactly been cordial about my feelings towards the Crimson Fleet's illegal activities. That's fair. Well, okay. Where do I start? I grew up in the Well in New Atlantis. Parents made barely enough money to keep the lights on in our apartment. After I dropped out of school, they begged for me to look for work. But I realized it was a lot easier to simply take whatever I wanted instead. A year after that, I'm a career criminal with UC security breathing down my neck, and my parents kicking me out of the house. Hell no. I made enough money to buy my own apartment. Filled it with some decent stuff, too. I'd even send pictures of the place to my folks to rub it in. I was a real asshole. Well, I wasn't a nice person. That's just it, though. I was having the time of my life, earning way more than I needed to simply get by and loving every minute of it. Back then, if you would have told me one day I'd be wearing this uniform, I'd have said you were out of your mind. Very funny. And not even relatively close. Let's just say the years after my time in the Well were filled with highs and lows. Look, the point is that I felt you deserved to know a bit about my past. To know where my anger towards the fleet comes from. All I'm hoping is that it will motivate you to stay on the right path. Well, I think you've had enough for now. You get the point. Let's get back to it before Keyboy writes us a citation for loitering. I'll be here if you have any more questions.
Commander Ikande is the heart and soul of UC SysDef. I'd follow him to the ends of the galaxy.
Hey.
Howdy. Sir, if I may speak freely, is there a reason for partial command? I know I
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I swear, this is all just a big misunderstanding.
Sometimes trudge through cold, frost-wet trenches.
Oh, well, I just figured we got along so well back there in Sidonia. You might remember everything that I did for you and return the favor. I know you were just doing your job, so I'm not going to hold that against you. I could really use the help. I shouldn't have to plead my case. I wasn't committing a crime. Do you have any idea how tough it is to earn your way in Sidonia? Either you spend all day in the mines getting your lungs filled with Martian dust, or wear your fingers to the bone working on machinery. All I was trying to do was earn a living. Display a little bit of entrepreneurial spirit. If trying to make a living is considered breaking the law, then lock me up and throw away the key.
Commander, relieve you.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
That's all you're going to say to me? Okay, fine. I'll tell you this, though. The UC can't hold me forever. And when I get out, first thing I'm going to do is hunt you down. That drunken miner? No. Whatever you said to him must have sunk in because I haven't seen him since you left Sidonia. He's lucky. If he would have stumbled into this spear begging for credits again, I would have... well, use your imagination. Are you serious? You actually expect me to be grateful? I don't know SysDef's endgame, but I'd wager that you've bitten off far more than you can chew. No matter what you throw at the fleet, Delgado will find a way out. Interrogation complete? Good. Maybe I can get some rest.
I woke up in the middle of the night once and found Ensign and Betty tinkering with some machine.
Siren of the Stars, huh?
If you are free soon. Crash normalizing, undocking complete.
It has been a relief to be honest with you about my past. I appreciate your willingness to listen. But talking about this, remembering all those years, has brought back some unsettling memories. You did not grow up on my world or as part of my culture. I would not expect you to understand. I would, however, expect you to be a bit more respectful. And this... it is not about that. It is something else. I have told you that I spent many years coordinating with smugglers along the edges of the settled systems. There were men and women I worked alongside closely. And over time, I established relationships. They were not of the promised, but I considered them friends. Yes, I have found that to be true. It was, and is, still a surprise. You must understand. I was raised to believe that those who do not follow the Great Serpent do not matter. For they are lost. Their fate is fixed and grim. And yet here were these men and women with hopes and dreams, delights and aversions. It felt like a small betrayal of my people, of House Varun, but I cared for my friends. And then I lost them. It was, in ways I did not understand at the time, and so it has bothered me ever since. It was so sudden. We had met on a remote planet to transfer cargo, and zealots appeared in force, seemingly out of nowhere. There was barely time to react. So many were cut down immediately. I believe my years of training saved me, got me moving when others faltered. I retreated to my ship immediately. But I left them all behind. Aaron Bascom and Jada Wong. They were my friends, and I abandoned them. And in the years since, I have never looked for them. 10 years. I was immediately reassigned to another role, light years away. No. I told myself it's because I never had the time, but in truth, I was scared of what I'd find. No, maybe. I don't know. It all happened so fast, and I've had so much time since then to replay it in my head. Wonder if I should have done things differently. In my time getting to know you, I have thought more and more of all this. How little sense it all made, how I never really knew what happened or what became of my friends. My connection to you has reminded me what it means to trust someone, to be there for them. And I can no longer live with not knowing. I need to finally pursue this. I would like you with me when I do. I do not know what we will find, but I know it will be easier with you at my side. I am not sure I will find any comfort in it, but I think it is important nonetheless. I am not sure where they might be now, but I believe we should begin the search in Aquila City. That is where I last saw Aaron Bascom.
If I can help you with anything, just say the word.
The city certainly projects a powerful image for the United Colonies, eh?
as you enter the city, please keep moving. Okay, no bounty. You're clear. Enjoy your visit.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like you've got more work.
Ah, yes. They build a monument to the people they lost, but not the people they killed.
You gotta be kidding me. It's plumbing, not pastry.
I cannot help but notice that the Colony War Memorial is in direct line of sight of this embassy. I suspect that was very much intentional.
You are a visitor? You'll find the ambassador in her office. Go on through.
I wonder how many times one side or the other has threatened to close this embassy down over the years.
Terrors? As in more than one? All that security and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I had received the news from my
Of course. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
This building is Freestar Sovereign territory. So in here, we're the law.
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment? Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right. I was afraid of that. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours, and go? You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance, one, to convince me. Understood. I'm listening. You know that for sure? That is interesting. I suppose you're right. Our job and our responsibility. The cost of being wrong is a high one. No one does, Captain. The only question is how to do it. Well, Captain, you make some good points. But if I'm really granting you access, I'm gonna need the following concessions. Your access will be limited. You can only take out the items related to stopping these terramorphs. The monitors will make sure of it. You go in once, you get everything you need on your trip, and never again. And all research done with the data will be monitored. If this data is being used to save the galaxy needs to be involved in the oversight. Freestar scientists will watch your people like hawks. So, do we have an agreement? Excellent. Follow me.
Official business? Talk to the ambassador.
They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. Here, I'll reach out to Deputy McIntyre. We'll coordinate the necessary oversights. Two unlikely allies, I guess.
So strange that now, for all reasons, is my first time inside this place. It's been a very long in one of these trees. And we could fly to it. Best not to leave anything useful behind.
Did they have anything of value?
So, what seems punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. You have my thanks, and my apologies for the ordeal you just endured. Come, let us discuss. Not the ideal introduction, I suppose, giving you a grand tour of the embassy via barely functioning intercoms. I do greatly appreciate your persistence. I suspect the Venom tree upstairs has worked itself into more systems than I'd realized. But then again, who could cage such a beauty? Tell me though, what is it like outside? I heard the broadcast mentioning an attack. Then the embassy was struck with a power surge and then... silence. Has the rest of the city suffered quite so badly? Is that right, huh? I shall need to have these repairs seen to sooner rather than later. Now, it cannot solely be the Serpent's grace that brought you... and your friend here.
You need not maintain a facade, Kasric. He knows who I am. Who I actually am.
Quite the breach in protocol, Andreja. Something I look forward to discussing further. Once we've established why it is you to have come waltzing through my door uninvited. Now, the broadcast earlier spoke of terror morphs at the spaceport. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but coming here of all places, when all I could provide is some enthused cheerleading and... an archive code. So the UC requires information, then. On terror morphs, presumably, Do I see this all clearly? The preservation of life stands as the very purpose of the archives. Using its data to prevent more attacks, there is logic there. But if I am to grant you access, I have a requirement. For years, House Varun has been known only as an agent of slaughter. We founded this embassy with hopes of shedding that legacy. With little success. In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be the one who ensures it is used for good. Ensure House Varun's legacy is more than just carnage. The knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. It is we who bend it to evil ends. Oh, you must assure me this will be used to save lives, not endanger them.
You have my word as well. And you know that you can trust me.
Well then, I shall not fear. Please, follow me. Let's hope it still works. And there. Let it be used for good.
On the record? What response?
I'm told by top officials the cabinet already has a plan in place to open the Armistice archives.
Unless that archive's full of ordnance, it's not enough.
I see. Well, thank you for taking the time.
Hey, publish what I said, all right? Something needs to be done.
Oh, I'm as concerned as you are. Thank you again for speaking.
If we can avoid entering that building, I would prefer it. Let us just say I am allergic to bureaucracy.
Captain, you're back sooner than... Oh, wait. Did you actually succeed? With Radcliffe? And Balmore? We're all in agreement. So the old man was still lurking around in there. Fine work, Captain. And now, I've already arranged everything with the archival monitors. When you get down there, the UC monitor will give you instructions on how to deploy the codes. Follow them to the letter. Here, the UC code piece and an archival access card. The entrance is just on the other side of the plaza across from Mast. Absolute best behavior down there, all right?
If you attempt to engage me in combat,
I used to be an actuary.
There you are. Captain, Deputy told me what went down. Impressive work.
Captain, if you'd be willing to transfer the documents to the Major, she and I have been discussing what comes next.
Time for us to start getting some real answers, and figure out if we've been asking the right questions. So whenever you're ready. Yes. It will be. Percival and I have done our damage. This is us starting to put some things right. So with the data out of the way, we've been discussing where exactly this work's getting done. The Red Devil's headquarters on Mars, back where you found Percival, seemed the natural spot. Already has the equipment, the safety measures. Though it sounded like the deputy had a few more things she needed to discuss with you first.
Indeed. The most important of which is getting you your citizenship.
Then I guess we'll see you on Mars.
Captain, if you'll follow me. All right, Captain. Are you ready to become a citizen of the United Colonies? It doesn't. We don't really care where else you might have been or might become a citizen. Once you earn your place in the United Colonies, it's yours. Good. This isn't the only item we need to discuss, so I'll give you the short version. Please raise your hand. Captain, through your actions today and in days past, you have earned your place among the United Colonies. Through service, bravery, strength, and upholding of the mutual good. Will you carry and cultivate these values for as long as you remain a citizen? Then, Captain, I'm pleased to welcome you into the United Colonies as a full citizen. Here, your official ID and your citizenship dispensation. We've also let the Aphelion Realty office out in the plaza know you're approved to purchase property. Now, the other item we needed to discuss. There's a member of the UC who's asked to speak to you, but this person is in a sensitive position. Normally, we wouldn't even consider something like this, but we think this person has information that could prove useful in dealing with the Terramorphs. And they've stated they'll only share it with you. They asked for you by name. So I need your agreement that everything you're about to see is kept in the strictest confidence. You can tell no one. Can you agree to these terms? Let's hope it never comes to that. Head to the elevator. You're going to subsection 7. I'll make sure you're cleared for access by the time you get there.
How are you? Of course, take your time.
You didn't hear this from me, but those ecliptic mercenaries, the factions use them sometimes. Freestar Collective and UC both. It's why they give them a wide berth. Ask me, those murdering assholes should be blasted into space dust.
Logging authorized entry. Unsealing access. You may proceed down the corridor. But there are no additional visitors permitted. Your friend's gonna have to wait out here.
Welcome, Captain. Please, come down to the intercom. You and I should chat. President Abeyo was kind enough to give me a few files to peruse. Quite the series of accomplishments you've managed. But now you face a foe unlike any other. An invisible enemy, lurking in the shadows. You're going to need all the help you can get. Which is why I hoped we could speak. Do you know who I am? Not quite. I'm Francois Sanon. But most know me as Victus. I was an admiral during the Colony War. One of its great villains, if you believe the slates. I was to be executed for my crimes. But the previous regime deemed me too valuable to simply discard. So they put me here. A sacrifice on the altar of peace. Even my death served the colonies. Very astute. That's my daughter. My progeny. You've been working alongside. Has she shared with you the nature of our little family? Did she? So willing to trust Hadrian. I never did succeed in driving that out of her. Our relationship has always been a challenging one. The Major was born to become a great leader, carry on the legacy I established, and was given all the finest training to support it. And she excelled. But the universe cut all that short. Now, though, it's placed even more crucial work in front of the two of you. And I think I have a part to play in helping you accomplish what you've set out to do. It was an attempt by the United Colonies to solidify its own legacy, forging a new generation of great leaders. They were raised by adoptive families made up of scholars and tacticians, trained at the United Colonies' greatest scientific and military academies, displayed incredible promise. But by the time the Colony War came to a close, there was only Hadrian But that's ancient history now. You have much more pressing matters at hand, with which I can help. After some long years earning the trust of this current regime, the UC has been permitting me to work alongside one of their recovery teams, helping them gather intelligence on, locate, and organize scenarios to lure in some of the criminals that evaded justice after the colony war. With quite a few successes, I might add. But in the process, I managed to find something else. The names and locations of Hadrian and Percival's old research team. Valuable manpower for the effort you're about to embark on. I'll tell you where they are, but in exchange, I